Hello, hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome to my face, as well as my garage slash craft room, office, studio, everything, anyway. Working on the tech and the software and all the setups to eventually start doing live streams. Getting used to showing my face publicly a little bit more. I know I don't look like some of you were expecting. I have received some rather interesting comments, I guess. I am who I am and I look how I look, is what it is. So anyway, I wanted to get this filmed. I have been meaning to film this little release and review video for a while. And again, just everything. So this is the Trinity stamps. This was the May 2023 release. Really cute. Not a huge release. Just a few really fun products. So I thought I'd walk through them. And I plan to make a card in this video. Just making myself just do it. And with the magic of editing, I'll be able to like splice it all together. All the things. So I'm going to switch cameras and then we're going to look at this release. So here it is in a nutshell. This first one is the Smarty Pants stamp set and it just cracked me up. At first I was like, but then I read the sentiments and I was like, oh, this is really cute. So yeah, thanks for the great jeans. You know, and you got mom, dad. You're a genius. Congrats, Smarty Pants. You did it. So it's a good, like, it can be a Mother's Day, Father's Day, grad card, you know, anything really. You want to send a congrats card to someone who, you know, passed a course or did something really cool, you know? Yeah. Congratulations, Smarty Pants. I just thought that was really cute. And then you got your little jeans. You know, this one's one stamp. That one's an individual. There is coordinating wafer die set that will die cut everything, which I love. So we've got that. And then we have the stitched pocket die set. This I also thought was really cute. It goes obviously with that set. Like they kind of coordinate, but this can totally be on its own. And this would be perfect. You can like fill it with little flowers. A gift card will fit in here because you've got the little flaps, so you can glue it. So then this whole area will be open. So I just thought that was really just cute, you know, and a fun way to add like a gift card. So there's that one. There's this one. This is the little Rad Dad stamp and die set. So you've got, that's one stamp. So Rad Dad, you're the best. And there is a little coordinating die set that goes with that. So we've got that one. Then we've got the Congrats, You Did It. Yeah, it's just called You Did It Grad stamp. So congrats, you did it. Just a great little stamp that can be like the center focus of your card. Stamp it, color it, add a little glitter, you know, add a little shine, and you've got a cute little grad card. So got that one. Then we have the Graduate Tassel. This is a hot foil and wafer die set. Love. When I first pulled it up before like looking at it, I was like, oh, it's like a witch's broom. You could use it for that, honestly. It would work, I think, you know? But yeah, it's Grad Tassel. So just cute. So got that one. And then this one I actually used already in a video and I'd said that like it was a little bit of a sneak peek, but this is the Simply Sentimental Dad stamp set. So this one is just the dad words and there is a coordinating wafer die set as well that will die cut the outlines, but also the actual like lettering. And this coordinates with the Simply Sentimental Mom set that was released last month. And that one has all the companion sentiments and whatnot that you can mix and match with this. So, love that. So we got that one. And actually, I'll show that one in a second because these two kind of go together. We have the Grad Sentiment wafer die. So just great big letters. So they layer up together, or you could just use them on their own if you want just sort of the thicker look. But yeah, this would go nicely too with, you know, the Tassel. You have Grad and Tassel and, you know, fun things like that. Then we've got this one. This is Here's to Brew. So you've got your arm or hand holding. You can either have a beer or a coffee or a tea. You know, thank Brew very much. Cheers. Happy birthday, happy Father's Day, a little brew to get you through, you know, just something cute. I like it. And then there is, again, coordinating wafer dies to die cut everything. And then we've got the Un-grill-ievable set. So you've got a bunch of like barbecue grill, little accessories, basically. You got food and accessories. Whole bunch of punny little sentiments, which I love. Hey, girlfriend. Un-grill-ievable. Well done. Happy Father's Day. You're not old. You're well seasoned. Have a sizzling birthday. Franks a lot. You guys know I love me some punny sentiments. They just work. So we got that coordinating wafer die set. We'll die cut everything, including the sentiments. And that goes with this really cute. This is the backyard barbecue die set. How cute is this? Seriously, how cute is this? So you got all your little accessories. I just started thinking of King of the Hill, your propane and propane accessories. Anyway, love it. And it's like, this is a good size too. So this can go, like, this would also look really cute for a scrapbook. Build your little barbecue and you can have your little, you know, pictures and all your little accessories. Like how adorable would that be? You know? Yeah, so at that, and then last but certainly not least, we've got a couple of backgrounds. You can never go wrong with polka dot. So polka dot background stamp. The Trinity stamps backgrounds, these ones, they're clear. So you've got your background, and I mentioned this in the other release and reviews. I'm thinking you can probably totally do like almost like jelly plate type techniques on the backs of these. You know, or you could do like almost like mirror stamping and that sort of a thing, because the backs are just smooth, clear photopolymer. So we've got the polka dot, and then we have the double line check. This one would also look cute on that little denim like stitched pocket. You could use that to add some pattern, or just, again, you can't go wrong with this. Like just a classic background. And again, this one is also clear. Just like so. So that is the release in a nutshell. Like always, I will have links to everything listed below, and then just keep watching and we shall see what I make. So obviously I went with the Smarty Pants set because it's so cute. And I had to. So I started off with some of Simon's Smooth White 120 pound cardstock, put it in my mini Misty, and then put the 2 images from that set into there. Rubbed it really well with my fingers. When you have brand new photopolymer stamps, to get them to take ink really well, either rub them with your fingers, clean them a few times, stamp, clean, any of that works, just to kind of condition them a little bit to get them to take the ink and stamp. So I stamped the images with Simon's Intense Black ink, just an alcohol marker friendly ink. And then I'm using my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends to color. And I will have a link to the playlist that I have using these markers. Every time I post a video coloring with these markers, I add it to the playlist. So I'll have a link to that at the end. And right now this is real time. You know, I don't do anything as fast as my videos make it look. Honestly, sometimes I would love to be able to move this quickly, not necessarily with card making. I enjoy the whole process, but I've said this before, like if I could like just magically speed up how fast I could like clean, you know, I could get so much more done in a day. But anyway, very simple coloring, darkest to lightest, just like I always do. When it comes to any alcohol markers, my personal preference is to go darkest to lightest. I prefer this. It's quicker, easier, is what it is. Do what works for you. if you have, if you are struggling with your alcohol markers, sometimes like one, there's like tons of resources out there, but also it could be your paper. Like certain papers just don't play well with alcohol markers, and then also people have preferences. You just get used to certain papers. So that's why I always use Simon's, because I've just been using it for so many years that I know how it's going to act. You know what I mean? Whereas if I all of a sudden were to switch out the paper, I'd be like, what, why is it doing this? Why is it bleeding? Why is it, not blending the way I want it to? Generally the paper. So that's another little random aside for that. So very simple coloring. Did kind of like a rainbow of colors because I thought that'd be just a little more interesting than doing them all like blue jean denim color, So after I had done that, I took a piece of black cardstock, put that in my mini Misty, and used my anti-static powder tool on that. And then I chose the sentiments I wanted from that set, and I'm inking those up with clear embossing ink and making sure not to press too hard when I stamp them, because these are very fine sentiments. Yeah, I've said this before, like with just like coloring and ink blending, I'm heavy handed. I'm like that with stamping too. It gets difficult sometimes. And I've noticed I wreck sentiments so often because I press too hard and you're mushing the stamp, into the cardstock, and then you add embossing powder, or if you just stamped with ink and it's like, why can I not read this? It's like, oh, you pressed too hard. So just light, even pressure. Stamped it with the clear embossing ink, coated it with detail white embossing powder. I used just a dry little brush to remove a few of the little flecks of embossing powder from where I didn't want them to be, and then melted it with my heat tool. Then removed the anti-static powder just with one of my little microfiber cloths. And then I'm going to use the coordinating wafer dies to die cut everything. So taping all of them into place with just little bits of washi tape so that these dies don't shift when I run them through my die cut machine. Especially, well, any of it, really. It's just annoying, when you go to die cut something and it's like, oh, I cut part of the sentiment off, or it wasn't lined up, that sort of thing. Washi tape for the win. So lined up the wafer dies and then die cut everything. And then for my background, I pulled out one of my oldie but goodie favorites. It's the My Favorite Things black and white stripes pattern paper. Some of y'all might remember my unbelievable obsession with this paper. And then I forgot about it for a really long time. And I pulled it out in a video last month, whenever it was. And I was like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. So I have no more full pieces of the diagonal stripe, which is my favorite. There's something about the diagonal that I just prefer. So to make it work, since I didn't have any full size, like 6x6 pieces left, but I had these two large pieces. So I just taped them together and kind of made it into a chevron. I've shown in videos in the past, specifically with this paper, how I would use like bits and pieces and just line them up to use up pieces, and you can't really tell when it's all said and done. So I make it work. So I lined up those pieces. I just taped them together with some pixie tape, and then I'm using one of Trinity's A2, do they call it rectangle? Clean cut layers, the A2 rectangles. So I die cut it to the full size of an A2 card. I use the largest wafer die from that. And then I'm going to adhere this to my card base, which is also A2 size. So this pattern paper will completely cover the card base. And I just adhered that with a bit of craft tacky glue. And then I die cut a smaller white rectangle with the same die set. And there was a couple little bits of schmutz on there. So I just took a white eraser, and that removed it perfectly. And then to adhere all these little pairs of pants, I'm going to use some thin foam squares just to pop them up, give them a little bit of dimension. And I always start, when I have like a line of things to adhere, I always start with the middle one. Like get that adhered in the middle, and then everything else can like fit in. I do the same thing if I'm like lining up letters, like die cut letters, that sort of a thing. Start in the middle. Once that's lined up, everything else just easily comes together on either side. So pop those up with a little bit of those foam dimensionals. And then for the sentiments, I was going to pop them up, but then I was like, no, I'm just going to adhere them down. If you wanted to pop them up, I would just die cut scraps of cardstock, like black cardstock with the same wafer dies. Because the parts of these are so narrow that it'd be just more of a pain to put actual dimensionals behind them. So yeah, that's what I would do. But I decided to just adhere it directly to the panel, let the pants be a little bit more popped up, and it just works. So adhered the sentiments down to that panel, and then on the back of it, I'm going to put Simon's Big Mama foam tape. So it gives it even more dimension, but not a ton of bulk. So I put that on the back of this, and then I'm going to pop this right onto the card front. And then once that's in place, the individual little pair of pants and the remaining sentiment, I'm just going to adhere to the inside of the card. So this ends up being kind of just a generic congrats card. Like, it can be for grad, it could be for, you know, anything, really. Yeah. Congratulations. Congrats, Smarty Pants. You did it. You're a genius. Love it. So adhered those. And then as my final little bit of embellishment, I pulled out these. These are the black licorice jelly hearts from Trinity. One of my favorites. Love. Just love. So I stuck some of those onto the card front and then adhered them into place with craft tacky glue. Once those are adhered, this card is complete. Like I mentioned earlier, I will have a link to that playlist with other videos I've done using the Spectrum Noir tri-blends. I will have a supply list. I'll link to all the new release products. And then of course I'll have links to everything I used to make this card. So you can check that out in the description box below. I'll also link to my blog post, which will have picture links, a little easier to navigate. So all that info will be in the description box below the video if you are interested. Thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.